Wow, that's it? Last week I praised episode 6, Home Invasion, for being an almost self-contained story. The episode helped define these characters under pressure, and it finally delivered on its promise of being an alien invasion story. Unfortunately, the follow-up episode to last week's episode is pretty disappointing. Hello everyone, I'm Hunter, and today I will be reviewing the latest episode of the Apple Plus TV series, Invasion, Episode 7, Hope. Episode 7 begins immediately after the events of the previous one, with the Malik family shrouded in darkness and collecting themselves after the shocking attack they had just experienced. They briefly address the mysterious tool she used to kill the alien, but the audience is ultimately left to speculate as to whether it's some kind of alien matter or space debris. After the series intro, the episode cuts to Trevante Cole driving aimlessly through the desert, and he stumbles upon an abandoned town and a family looking for refuge. In what is arguably one of the only two decent scenes of this episode, Trevante drives this family to the Kabul airport, and during this road trip, Trevante and the father of the family discuss how the US occupation of Afghanistan informs their experience of the alien invasion. The Afghan family lived through the horrors of the United States invasion and the hunt for Osama bin Laden. These children have lived through invasions all throughout their life, so how different is this, at least compared to Trevante in his life as a soldier? Casper and the other students have finally reached the outskirts of London, and they ask a strange woman for help. In this conversation, it is revealed that all of London and surrounding areas have evacuated and or died. Now, I'm not a critic that gets particularly hung up on continuity and logic and the choices that characters make, but I find it pretty unbelievable that so much of the urban centers we see in this episode are completely abandoned. These empty landscapes and factions of people is the natural progression of an apocalypse after maybe a year or two, but the events of this series have taken place within a single week, maybe less than that. Series creator Simon Kinberg argued that what distinguishes this show from other works of sci-fi is that Invasion is a realistic portrayal of an alien invasion. It is slow, it happens in starts and stops and in different places around the globe. But here it seems that Kinberg has quite literally skipped the fallout of the invasion and focused primarily on characters that were conveniently isolated from populated areas so that aliens don't need to appear unless the show needs to meet its action quota. This may sound unfair of me, but let's take a look at how the Malik family is surviving in the inner city, for example. The Malik family has taken refuge in an abandoned restaurant, and it seems like it's safe from intruders, aliens, or any kind of external threat. In a moment where food and refuge is scarce, one might think that the operation of a restaurant with the lights all on, it would attract unwanted attention. But I guess not? Am I thinking too literally? These questions distracted me from the character drama of this scene. Mitsuki breaks into the company's satellite department and takes control. The whole idea here is that she uses the technology available to help track Hinata and possibly decode the alien message. In movies like Contact or Arrival, the moment of or contact to the unknown is staged with suspense, but here it barely even registers. You can kind of hear the sound, but it's not that unsettling or complex. The room in which they're investigating the sound is for some reason shrouded in darkness, even though it's a workspace, so it's difficult to even see what they're doing in the first place. In Contact or Arrival, these scenes are so dynamic and riveting they almost invite the viewer to participate in the decoding of the sound. What does it mean? What just happened to the signal? Did it cut out? The suits, they're just standing around and watching. They don't get it, but we, the audience, we do get it. This kind of excitement is not evoked here at all. It's just such a non-event in what is obviously a pivotal moment in the series as it inches closer to the season finale. Also, and this is only me nitpicking, but the sound system they're using for this is worse than my dad's sound system. They're listening to a single shelf speaker hung up in the corner of the roof, which is not even the optimal listening position or speaker for what they're trying to do. Finally, the second scene that worked in this episode is the one in which Trevante is fighting to get onto the plane at the Kabul airport. It's especially disturbing because of just how recent the real-life version of this played out. The image of families yelling and crying, pleading to get on the plane, and the probably unintentional metaphor here for the re-emergence of the Taliban and the aliens setting down upon them. In my review of episode 6, I was optimistic about the direction of the series and that it may have been a turning point in the story in terms of it delivering on its invasion premise and introducing more external conflicts. But based on what I watched tonight, it almost seems like episode 6 was Kinberg and co. flexing their muscles for a great but ultimately short period of 30 minutes, and now it's back down to their baseline melodrama. My ratings of movies and TV shows are arbitrary and always subject to change, but as of the writing of this review, I'm going to give Invasion Episode 7 a 5 out of 10. If you enjoyed watching, please like the video and write a comment on what you thought of tonight's episode or even my review of the show. If you're interested in more videos about the series, please stick around and subscribe because I will be covering the rest of Season 1. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.